Watcher to 6 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare Loadout video. In today's loadout video, we are going to be creating a class setup to roleplay as a future soldier from beyond our Earth. And I have to admit, I had a lot of fun making and playing with this loadout in game. In one of my recorded matches, I ended up going on a 20 or 21 kill streak, which was absolute madness and only made me enjoy this setup even more. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and without further ado, let's take a look at our mission briefing. This is going to be a class setup depicting a future soldier fighting in a future war. We're going to be using high-tech weaponry and gadgets for an advanced arsenal, and lastly, we are going to be taking inspiration from both Infinite Warfare and science fiction movies. So as I've said, this future soldier loadout is going to take some inspiration from both Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and sci-fi films like Star Wars, Predator, Elysium, etc. Even though this is Modern Warfare, we do see a lot of futuristic gadgets, weaponry and abilities available for us to use. The concept of a future soldier comes in many different forms. Some experts believe exoskeleton suits will be the future of military fighters, while others believe future soldiers will be battling it out in the deep regions of space, and on other planets that humanity will eventually colonize. The fact Donald Trump has declared Space Force as a new branch of the US Armed Forces tells us that the future soldier is starting to become more and more modern as time goes on. So let's kick off this sci-fi loadout by taking a look at our primary weapon that we're going to be equipping. There are all sorts of conceptual weapons and ideas that get thrown around as to what futuristic weaponry will look like and how they will behave. Unfortunately, we don't have laser guns or blaster rifles that we can use to pulverize our enemies with, so instead we're going to have to think, what modernish weapon type will a future soldier use? We could go with a marksman rifle like the EBR-14 for a deadly 2-shot kill, but I feel that personal defense weapons are easier to use and are going to be big when it comes to participating in conflicts. We see personal defense weapons in Infinite Warfare such as the ERAD or the FHR-40, and one of the best and most future looking PDWs is the P90. With that streamlined design and bullpup configuration, kitting out advanced attachments onto this weapon will make this the ultimate space gun of tomorrow. So let's take a look and equip some attachments for our futuristic P90. For our first attachment, we're going to be choosing a barrel, and the barrel that I've gone for is the Forged Tack Retribution. This extended barrel furthers our damage range and bullet velocity, while maintaining control over our recoil. This barrel has a unique shape that gives you that future feel, and another fun fact is the name of the spaceship you are based on in the Infinite Warfare campaign is also called the Retribution, so that's why this is going to be our first attachment. For our second attachment, we're going to be choosing a laser, and the laser that I've gone for is the Tac Laser. What better way to give your weapon a sci-fi feel than to have laser beams shooting out your gun? This green laser sight provides us with faster reflexes like aiming down sights, and keeps our hands steady when aiming. So the Tac Laser will be our second attachment. For our third attachment, we're going to be choosing an optic, and the optic that I've gone for is the FSS ring sight. Logic dictates that we won't have any use for iron sights in the future, as integrated optics will let the soldier have accurate precision on their targets. One cool and unique optic the P90 has in Modern Warfare is the FSS ring sight, which is this tilted square red dot sight that bears a close resemblance to the ERAD's built-in ELO optic. So we'll go with this as our third attachment. For our fourth attachment, we're going to be choosing a weapon perk, and the weapon perk that I've gone for is fully loaded. Future soldiers are going to be equipped with plenty of ammunition supplies on the front line, and it wouldn't surprise me if weapons of the future regenerate bullets on the go without ever needing to reload, similar to the IMR from Advanced Warfare. Fully loaded keeps our weapons stocked with maximum ammo capacity, so this weapon perk will be our fourth attachment. And lastly, for our fifth attachment, we will be choosing an underbarrel, and for the underbarrel I have chosen the Stipple Grip Tape. This grip tape again increases our aim and stability and gives us maximum control over the P90's recoil, ensuring minimum kick when firing. So the Stipple Grip Tape will be our fifth and final attachment. So those are going to be our attachments for our futuristic P90. Now let's move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. Modern Warfare doesn't have anything out of this world like the noisy cricket from Men in Black, but portable railguns are a thing of the future that we'll eventually see on the battlefield in years to come. Railguns are long, thick, heavy weapons that can fire anything from stopping power rounds to plasma blasts. One pistol that has the right aesthetics for a miniature railgun is the .50 GS. From the base weapon, it's a big and powerful firearm that can two-shot people at most ranges with a single bullet only needed in the head. And with the right attachment configuration, you'll have your enemies running. So just like our P90, let's equip some attachments for our mini railgun. For our first attachment, we'll be choosing a barrel, and the barrel that I've gone for is Forged Tack Enforcer. This extended barrel increases our damage range and bullet velocity for a deadly attack. The physical extension makes the .50 GS look more like a mini railgun, so that's why we'll choose this as our first attachment. For our second attachment, we'll be choosing a laser, and the laser that I've gone for is the 5 megawatt laser. This ultra bright green laser gives the .50 GS that sci-fi look, and greatly improves our hipfire accuracy as well as reducing our sprint to fire speed, so we'll choose this laser as our second attachment. For our third attachment, we'll be choosing a weapon perk, and I've gone for Akimbo. What's better than carrying one mini railgun? How about running with double the trouble? Akimbo grants us the ability to equip two .50 GS's in each hand, and since future soldiers will have increased strength from either cybernetics or exoskeleton suits, carrying around these two hefty pistols will be easy to do. For our fourth attachment, we will be looking into our ammunition, and I've gone for the 13 round mags. Just like with the P90, the soldier of the future will be able to haul around as much ammunition as possible, and having those extra rounds in our magazine is going to benefit us a lot, so we'll choose this as our fourth attachment. And lastly, for our fifth and final attachment, we'll be choosing a trigger action, and I have selected the lightweight trigger. This specialised trigger increases the weapon's fire rate while maintaining its hipfire steadiness and accuracy, so it'll help us to pop off more shots without harming our aim. So those are going to be our primary and secondary weapons for this class setup. Now let's take a look at our perks and equipment that we're going to be selecting. For our first tier perk, we're going to be choosing Quick Fix. Future soldiers will be decked out in special combat suits to help protect the body and naturally heal any bullet wounds from incoming fire. Quick Fix allows us to regen our health at an increased rate by killing enemies or capturing and defending objective points, and thus keeps us in the fight against the bad guys. This perk is similar to the infusion trait from Infinite Warfare, so we'll go with Quick Fix as our tier 1 perk. For our second tier perk, we're going to be choosing High Alert. Awareness is going to be a key strength for any future soldier and their surroundings. High Alert increases our situational awareness on the battlefield by providing us with a yellow notification flash on the inside of our visor. Since the last major patch, High Alert received a buff to allow the player to know which direction the enemy is facing you from, instead of just an on-screen flash. So this tier 2 perk will be extremely useful for us when engaging in firefights. And lastly, for our third tier perk, we're going to be choosing Tracker. To further our future soldiers' awareness, we're going to take advantage of our environments around us to track down our targets. The Tracker perk reveals enemy footprints in the world and highlights their direction in bright red for us to clearly see. Predators use their senses to figure out where their prey has gone, and so this perk is perfect for our future soldier loadout. So Tracker will be our third and final perk. Moving on now to our equipment. For our lethal equipment, I have chosen the Semtex. The Semtex is a sticky grenade explosive that will literally stick to any surface. In the midst of fighting in the coldness of space, there is no gravity for quick maneuvers, and so by sticking this futuristic looking bomb to our enemies, they won't have anywhere to run to except death. We see a lot of bulky explosive grenades featured in Infinite Warfare, with the plasma grenade acting similar to the Semtex in Modern Warfare, so the Semtex will be our lethal equipment. And for our tactical equipment, we're going to go with the snapshot grenade. Soldiers of the future will likely have the technology to be able to see enemies through different waves of the light spectrum. Imagine having the ability to see enemy heat signatures through walls. Well, in Modern Warfare, you can. The snapshot grenade scans the terrain within a small radius and detects enemy heat signatures through walls, buildings, and the earth they walk on. When enemies are lit up in our visors, it's almost like having predator vision, so the snapshot grenade will be our tactical equipment. So now that we've talked about our perks and equipment, it's time to finish off this loadout by taking a look at our field upgrade of choice and our selection of 3 kill streaks. For our field upgrade, I've gone with the Tactical Insertion. Being a future soldier, we'll have the technology and ability to spawn ourselves into battle, whether on Earth or on any other colonised planets. The Tactical Insertion lets us designate a spot on the map where our next respawn will be, and the bright red flare gives off that cool dark future look. So we'll choose the Tactical Insertion as our field upgrade. Moving on now to our 3 selected kill streaks. For our first kill streak, we're going to be choosing the UAV. A future soldier always has a heads up of where hostile targets might be located, and drone technology is only becoming better and better each year. The UAV is a drone kill streak that soars above the map and provides us with visual information as red dots on the minimap. We can also imagine that our helmet visor will have some sort of radar augmented in front of us, something that Tony Stark would appreciate. So we'll choose the UAV as our first kill streak. For our second kill streak, we'll be choosing the Vtol Jet. Aircraft is going to dominate war zones and conflicts in the future, especially when fighting beyond our world. Spaceships are generally seen in numerous sci-fi movies like Star Wars, and we also got to fly around space in Jackals back in Infinite Warfare. The Vtol Jet delivers a barrage of missiles before soaring high into the atmosphere and returning back down to Earth to take out any enemies it can detect. So we'll choose the Vtol Jet as our second kill streak. And finally, for our third kill streak, we're going to be choosing the Advanced UAV. Knowing where your enemies are in real time is incredibly advantageous for any military group, and it's something we'll definitely see in the future. Any future soldier will always have the upper hand against their foes in combat, knowing their every move and predicting where they'll go next. The Advanced UAV flies at an incredibly high altitude across the landscape and scans the map to compromise enemies for us to see on our radar. It doesn't matter if you use Ghost, because a future soldier will hunt you down. Combining our weaponry, perks, equipment, field upgrade and kill streaks, take off into battle and laser through your enemies, for the future is indeed black. So troops, that wraps up my future soldier loadout video for Modern Warfare. Next time you boot up Modern Warfare multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game and insert yourself to infinity and beyond. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then do give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and also hit the bell notification icon next to it, so that way you're always notified as to when I make an upload. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then definitely share the video around with them to help give my channel and my videos more widespread exposure. And if you want to see any behind the scenes previews of my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on there. Before I go, I want to wish all of my Muslim brothers and sisters a very blessed and safe Ramadan. This Ramadan is going to be a strange one with everything under lockdown, but inshallah, he will give us the guidance that we all need. So I'd like to wish everyone Ramadan Mubarak. And until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.